hey, literally everyone else is having fun. What are you doing right now?
What are you doing?
Right,
in the bushes over there.
We're all in the pool.
Yeah, and why did you have to be way over there in the bushes watching?
Gave
you just walked over?
Camcorder also.
Also, where did you get it?
You know?
Where did she get it?
Where?
Do you like scary movies?
You're still afraid.
There is a limit to how much I can take.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
No fear.
Hi.
Hey there.
Welcome to the Real Fear Podcast.
I'm Kordell.
And I'm Justin. We're ready to get some scares in for the day. What you been up to?
Man.
Catch up. We haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, we haven't. The last one we did was the Halloween one. I have just been working a lot, like always, and that's it. That's all.
See anything scary
Uh,
over the break?
No.
No. Why would you?
No, I didn't. I think the last movie I watched was Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell and some girl that I've never seen again except in that movie. And it's good. It's a good movie. It's fun. I don't want to spoil anything if no one's seen it, but I like it a lot. I think it's charming and a good time.
Well, I watched a movie called Holiday on Netflix.
Okay.
It's not a horror movie. I also haven't been watching horror. I've cut down after Halloween over. I was kind of like, I'll just watch horror movies for the podcast now. Maybe I'll slow down. Other than that, and stop injecting them straight into my veins.
Yeah, your ravenous consumption of horror genre.
Right.
Anything.
I feel like maybe I just need some more positive stuff right now. So I've already put up my Christmas tree. Started putting it up. I haven't decorated it yet.
Yeah.
I've already watched a holiday movie, which was Holiday with Emma Roberts. It's a romantic comedy. Yeah.
Rom-com.
Yeah. You and Gabe would be proud.
Yeah.
It's they go through all the holidays, and it's a movie about like she finds a date, but she only like goes out with him for holidays, and it's kind of like just so that her parents and friends like leave her alone about having a man in her life and like a date for the holidays. So they agree just to go out on holidays, and it goes through the whole year, and they do all the holidays. That's mostly a Christmas movie.
That sounds nice. that sounds right.
Nice. And they might get together at the end or something. I don't want to spoil that, but it's a rom-com stuff.
That's nice.
That's nice. Yeah. So been doing that.
Yeah. And
then I also one thing I did want to talk about was this study that just came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a study by what was that called? What was the company called?
Terrible.
Yes, it was called Terrible Company. No, it's a company called Broadband Choices, I'm pretty sure is what it was called, but once I read this article, if I come across it again. Oh yeah, it's called Broadband Choices. They did a study recently, and they now claim to have found, scientifically, the scariest movie of all time. The scariest movie ever made. A study called The Science of the Scare. And so I thought, given our line of work in the podcasting world, that's something that we really need to look into to see if there's any merit to it. Now, they tried to be objective, but I'm not sure it worked out. Let me explain how they did it, first of all, before I tell you what movie is the scariest movie ever made. They got a panel of 50 people with varying ages and from different parts of the world, or the country, I think. It may just be America. And they watched over 120 hours of the best horror movies, curated from Reddit recommendations and critics and stuff like that. Okay. So they got probably around 50 of the best horror movies. It says 120 hours. And they were each fitted with a heart rate monitor to measure what movies got their blood pumping the most. And let's see. They were watching in 5.1 surround sound. They watched 50 movies. Anyway, so now we have a list of the top 20 scariest that they've chosen. And the ultimate horror movie came out to be Sinister. According to science, Sinister is the scariest movie ever made. It's got, during the movie, the average beats per minute of the participants was 86, and the resting BPM is 65. So the difference is 32, and the highest spike, which they count as the biggest jump scare, the highest spike in heart rate, was got to 131. So, pretty big jump scare.
What's the heart attack beats per minute?
No, I wouldn't know. It doesn't say that. It doesn't tell us how many other people had a heart attack. But it does tell us... let's see. Insidious got number 2. It's got... average heart rate was 85 for them, just one below Sinister. The difference is 20 between that and the resting. And the high spike was 133. So Insidious actually has the highest spike. So it has the biggest jump scare in a movie, or a horror movie. It's Insidious.
We haven't watched that.
No, we haven't watched Insidious. But because of this, and since we've been talking about it, lots of people have been recommending it. Today we're going to watch Sinister. But also, let's discuss the validity of this study, because it doesn't seem so scientific to me.
Okay.
First of all, they only watched 50 movies.
Yeah.
Which, granted, is more than we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But not that it's a competition between us and them. But just saying,
If it were.
if it were, they wouldn't automatically win just because they're trying to use science.
Right.
They've got all these people watching all these movies. They're going to get desensitized to it
Yeah.
eventually. So the first movie they watch is going to scare them more than the 32nd movie they watch.
Yeah, it doesn't talk about the order, does it?
No.
No.
It doesn't say what order they watch these movies in. Just they watch 120 hours of it. And so I don't know if I, quite believe them.
Yeah, and I just feel like everything's pretty subjective when it comes to what scares you.
Yeah. Right.
I'm pretty
Right,
sure.
I guess that's why they did an average and got as many people as I guess they could, 50.
Yeah.
I don't know. Number 3 was The Conjuring. I haven't watched that yet either. Number 4, though, to put it in perspective, is Hereditary.
Okay.
And that's supposed to be the number 4 scariest movie ever made. And we rated it, what did we rate it, a 4?
Yeah, it was
On
kind of
the
low.
real-
It was actually the lowest. The
It was
numbers
the lowest we had ever
have
done.
gotten lower as we went.
Maybe that's because we're watching them and getting less and less scared by them as we go on.
I mean, I just thought Hereditary was just like a
Okay,
good movie.
we rated Hereditary a 5.
A 5.
The Exorcist was a 4.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny that The Exorcist isn't on the list of the top 20. Okay, it is. It's number 17. But that's not what the internet folks have been saying about The Exorcist. I mean, I would put it way lower than 17 even, but
Yeah.
we rated it a 4. But they got Hereditary number 4. We got Paranormal Activity number 5, which you know how I feel about Paranormal Activity. It Follows at number 6, The Conjuring 2 at number 7, The Babadook, which we have seen, at number 8.
What?
Yeah, The Babadook was the 8th scariest movie ever made. Average heart rate of 80 beats per minute. The difference was 15 between that and the resting heart rate.
The fucking Babadook.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And the highest spike was 116. So it's still a pretty big jump scare, too. But I don't know what jump scare they would be talking about.
Whatever one we made a face for, I guess. 'Cause I was like,
We did do something like that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think that was that when she was on the bed and we could hear it and then something happened? Did
I
something happen
think
to
either
scene?
that or when he got up to the wall and then flew out and it was paper and
Yes.
it wasn't that scary.
Right.
But when he just got up there,
I
that
think,
one
yeah, she was in the bed and we could hear Babadook, and then she looked up and it ran up the wall.
Yeah,
I think that's when we jumped the
that
heights.
run-
And then it looked really stupid after that.
And then it was like, I was like, all right, whatever, Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I think I looked up some like reviews and analysis. I can't remember if I watched all of them, but not as far as I remember, no one said anything about the Cat in the Hat and the Babadook. Cause
I was like, why am I the only one
I
who's
must be the
thought
only
this?
motherfucker that sees this because I don't know. Maybe I need to do some more research. I have no idea. Whatever, but whatever. It can be there. Who cares?
It can be there. It's fine. It's number 8. It's not number 1. But then they got shit like, I don't know, a bunch of stuff you haven't seen, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But A Nightmare on Elm Street is on here at number 13.
Like the original?
Yeah.
See, like who are these people?
Halloween is on there at number
Like,
14.
it doesn't even talk about if they've seen them or not. Like if someone's like,
Yeah.
if
Have
they-
you never? Are you finding people who have never seen any of these movies?
right?
That might be one of your criteria because you didn't say in your little list of.
because that's gonna change it.
Yeah.
It's got to. Second time around, not as bad.
Yeah. I don't know. Scream is on here, which I kind of think is cool because Scream is my favorite movie. But it's not. I wouldn't put it on the top 20 scariest movies ever made. Definitely not. And somehow it's got it's barely made it. It's at number 20 with a 73 beats per minute.
Is it on there?
It is on there. It's at number 19. And I wonder if it's talking about the original. Or
Yeah,
the
like,
remake. It doesn't say the year on this thing.
Who put this study on? Who was it? Just some motherfuckers like us, or
I don't know. Broadband Choices. It's an actual company that sells broadband. I don't
listen,
know.
broadband. I don't trust your scientific merit. I'm gonna need you to cite some more sources on this.
Right. I don't know. And then they have the best of the rest, and they have some, I guess, honorable mentions down here.
Yeah, dude, broadband. We're
The
absolutely
Grudge,
nobody, but
The Witch, Alien, Get Out, Poltergeist.
I think it's kind of scary.
Poltergeist is kind of scary.
No, Alien.
Oh,
Because
is it?
ripping out the. It's like sci-fi scary.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's
But
got
those
some
are-
jump scares. I bet that one had a. It doesn't tell us the jump scare for Alien because it wasn't in the top 20, but I bet it had a good one. Hush is number 18. We gotta watch Hush eventually.
Do we have to?
But anyway, yeah. So Sinister's still number 1 though. So let's start there. See if they have any merit to this at all. See if it doesn't. If we go by what's been happening with our steady decline, we should rate it a 3. So let's see if they have any say about that.
We will see.
I have seen this movie before, but it's been a very long time. I've only seen it once when it came out in theaters in 2012, so it's been quite a while. I don't remember what it's about. I've got a little blurb here actually on their study that says what the movie's about, if you'd like to hear it.
Sure.
It's starring Ethan Hawke from horror powerhouse Blumhouse Productions. Sinister follows the chilling story of a controversial true crime writer, Elliot Oswald,
Oh my god.
and his obsession with reviving his career leads to an investigation into a series of family murders and child kidnappings. After unearthing a string of grisly 8mm films, seemingly showing the murders, including one in his own home, will Elliot's obsession put his family in danger?
I'm gonna have to guess yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Probably, yeah.
I remember that now, yeah. He finds a bunch of old home movies, and they're really creepy.
So it's a movie about found footage movies?
Kind of. Yeah. It's part of it's found footage because he
It's-
finds found footage movies.
It's how we said you should do a found footage movie.
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe we'll like it.
Huh.
It says one of the great modern horrors, Sinister is packed with scares, twists, jumps, creepy kids, and bad decisions,
Oh, I hate creepy
which
kids.
kept our test subjects' hearts pounding throughout the whole movie. Well, let's see if your heart subject, your test subjects are.
I mean,
wimps,
like, yeah.
or-
What if they're just like really not athletic?
What
Like
if they
their
had a bunch of-
hearts.
And also, did they get horror fans?
Right.
If they did, then they've obviously seen these movies already.
Right.
And if they didn't, then
Well,
I'm
that
saying
way-
it doesn't like the average person. What is the average person? Is it a horror fan or is it not a horror fan? Because like horror fans are gonna be less scared than the average person who doesn't ever watch them.
They are. They're more attuned to the medium.
Exactly. And so, if they were trying to find people who had never seen any of those movies, then you're not getting fans because there were too many movies on that list that if you haven't seen, you're not a horror fan.
Right.
There's just a bunch. Like if you haven't seen any of them, you obviously don't watch horror movies. But yeah, even you've seen several of those at this point.
Yeah. And I didn't agree with where they were at.
Yep.
It could have been way lower. But So
Well, let's see. Let's see how Sinister goes.
Oh my gosh. Just waves of dread. I'll be like, oh, this, okay, Sinister, oh my goodness. And I'm like, I'll forget for a second. I'm like, oh, just hanging out. And then I'll be like,
just
oh yeah, I'm here to not have
yeah.
fun.
Here you actually have to watch a movie.
Oh my god.
It's the worst part of the podcast, isn't it, where we actually have to do it?
It hurts so much.
The best part is when it's over.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
And we can just dissect the movie.
Yeah, when I get to go home and cry myself to sleep about horror films.
Hey guys, sorry, because the video, halfway through, we realized it wasn't recording audio.
Yep. Space filled up on the computer, so it's great time.
Yeah.
So maybe audio improvement, as long as the space doesn't fill up again?
Maybe. If not, I mean, sorry. Oh, he's going to move it. He's going to be there. There he is.
I didn't even see what it was, and it still got me. What even was that shit?
It was Mr. Boogie.
I didn't see anything. I just heard the music.
He held the picture up and put it down, and he was there.
I mean, I saw him put it down, but I thought it was just like the outside.
Easy.
It wasn't so clearly a
Butter.
face.
What does this kid be doing?
Having night terrors. They didn't used to be this bad. I guess that was kind of scary.
I mean, I didn't expect it.
It didn't make me jump, though.
It made my face do a thing.
It made your face do a thing? That's as far as you get to reacting to jump scares.
Yeah, usually.
And why are they in slow motion, but he's not? It doesn't seem like he is.
Yeah, there's at least one more kid.
As he walks.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be gone.
Maybe there's a fourth one? It'll be his kid.
No, they haven't died yet.
If this guy is still out there, you not only just sped up his timeline, you put yourself in it.
Thanks, Deputy.
Yeah. They don't get to be murdered until they move.
Of course.
He did the one wrong thing. And he just goes back to watching movies.
You hate to see it. Wow.
It must have been fun to film. It's really messed up. Has the camera always been there?
Yeah, where'd you get that camera, little girl?
Yeah.
There's no way she has enough strength to do that.
Mr. Boogie's helping.
I guess
I don't really. That's the only thing I can think of.
He's buffing it.
Wait, don't we get to see him smash his head?
She's gonna chop right through it.
Oh. It is an axe. Besides, I was thinking it was a sledgehammer. But it's so dark. She already killed her mom and the brother? Oh god, they're in 3 pieces. I thought that was gonna be the end of the movie.
Yeah, I did too. Fucking tried me.
I bet that was the end of the movie.
Yeah.
They had to add a jump scare. Don't need to listen to this.
No.
That was Sinister.
Yeah.
I didn't remember any of that movie. Except for that one lawnmower scene.
Jump scares didn't get you as much.
No, none of them did this time. What is that about?
And they had some decent ones.
I don't know. Yeah, some of them, like the Babadook, I'd be screaming and shit.
Yeah.
This time, I don't know. The suspense wasn't there, I don't think.
leading up to it as much, so it like didn't have me.
It was more sporadic, yeah.
It didn't have me invested as much as maybe the other films did, so I wasn't as into it, and therefore I was kind of just passively watching, and so I don't know.
I don't know. I could kind of tell when someone were gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Like the picture one was like pretty easy to get. So he's gonna hold that photo up to the window and he'll pull it down and he's gonna be there.
That jump scare did get me, the photo one, even though I really didn't even see the boogeyman in that. It just the music.
I thought this one was kind of scary. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, good. Scientifically, it's the scariest film ever made, according to Broadband Choices.
I don't know about all that. I would not give this one a 10. This is not the scariest movie.
I definitely would not either. I don't even think it's the scariest movie we've seen on the podcast. You might, but I don't know.
I was thinking about it as it was ending,
yeah.
And I was gonna say, I'll go ahead and say, like 6 or 7.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It's definitely like I thought it was like, and like can be scary. Like, did it scare me personally? I was too busy talking shit about how dark it was.
Yeah. Well, it was just so dark. That
it was so
how
dark.
is it supposed to be scary when we can't see what we're supposed to be scared of?
But like the bits where they were trying to be scary, I think that they were scary. Like they were like trying to get you, and I think that a lot of people could easily be got. I have to like, I wasn't in a full blown panic or anything. It wasn't quite as suspenseful as Hereditary or anything like that, but like it was definitely fucking creepy, and I definitely didn't like it.
Yeah.
And like conceptually, I feel, and then this is part of the reason why I'm giving it like as high as it is as of now. If I give it like 6.5, right? I'll say 6.5, almost 7, but like 6. It's sitting at 6.5 right now, only because I feel like later I'm gonna think about this, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't like it. Like I'll be like turning lights on that don't need to be turned on in my house.
Yeah.
It's like one of these that I feel like his face is so simplistic, but so like it's menacing enough, and like creepy children. I've freaked myself out about creepy children before, like unprovoked. Like I've been.
Aren't children just creepy? Thinking about that?
Like yeah, but like I remember being younger and like just thinking, I'm like, there's somebody outside this window for no reason. They're like, I'm like,
yeah,
there are kids outside this window with black eyes.
That's
gotta be
funny.
Before I even knew what black-eyed children. So apparently there's a whole lore around black-eyed children. Apparently that's like a thing.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Where are they?
And people aren't 100% sure. Some sort of demon, half shadow realm, half whatever. Like, but they're they're. I've read Reddit stories. I feel like I like reading it better or like listening to it.
Yeah, you seem to like read into a lot more scary lore and stuff even than I do.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what it is, but it's something about reading, because I guess I can picture myself, and I guess that's why horror literature exists. But I never read any horror books. I'm just like I'll read creepypastas, or if I'm driving for a long time, I'll listen to like creepypasta, like scary stories being read to you pretty much.
Wow, see, those can be scarier even than movies sometimes.
They
And you're okay with that while you're driving?
I don't know. Well, here's what I do. Like, I'll listen to a creepypasta, and if it really gets to me, I'll switch right over to comedy. And like, I'll go immediately from creepypasta to like, oh my gosh, George Lopez is hilarious.
Scary stories. I've listened to some creepypastas. People reading me scary stories is sometimes scarier to me than anything.
Because it's in your head a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, black-eyed children is apparently a thing. It's like, if you look it up, it's a relatively like decently sized phenomenon where like people will like interact with these children with these dead black eyes, and they'll ask and get kind of like aggressive, like, let me in your car, like take me with you. Yeah. And so, like, that, like, my knowledge of that combined with seeing these kids do anything at all, I'm just like, I'll be scared later. So I'm giving it 6.5 on the basis that, like, later on, it's gonna raise. Like, I'll not sleep very well tonight. And then
should we go ahead and just call it a 7? Because you're gonna come back next week and be like, I'm gonna say it's a 7.
I don't know how bad it will be. If I don't sleep at all, I'm giving it an 8 or a 9.
Okay. Well, yeah.
But so I'm sitting at a 6.5 just off of like my understanding of how I'm going to be later.
Right. Well, just to put it in perspective, you gave the Babadook a 6.
Seriously?
Yeah. The Babadook ended up being a 5.6.
Oh, this is scarier than Babadook. I'm gonna give this one a 7 then.
I'm sorry. No, you gave Grave Encounters a 6. You gave the Babadook a 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is scarier than the Babadook by far.
And you gave Oculus an 8.
An 8. Okay, this one gets
which
a
is
7.
the highest I think that you've rated anything.
This one gets, this is a 7 then, easy, solid 7 then. If I gave Babadook,
you gave Babadook a 7, so this has got to be at least a 7, right?
At least, like bare minimum 7.
With the understanding that maybe if you don't sleep,
yeah,
it might go up.
Yeah, like this is way scarier than that. I don't know if it's like Oculus is pretty scary.
Mm-hmm. I rated it pretty high too.
Yeah,
I rated Oculus a 7.5.
Yeah. Sinister it's definitely scarier than Babadook by far. But I don't want to give it past. I don't want to give it past an 8 as of right now. So can I give this one 7.5? I want to give this one a 7.5.
You were about to do a 6.5, so you can do a 7.5.
Yeah, I'll do 7.5 for this one for Sinister. It was pretty scary.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what I want to give it.
Because I mean, just to be fair, like, because Babadook is not that. Well, it has some jumps and it has some tension, but I mean. As far as scare, like I think this is scarier objectively.
Right.
Like I don't fear the Babadook nearly as much as Sinister could get to somebody.
Yeah.
Or even will eventually get to me.
Right. I don't remember. Let's see. I said the Babadook was a 5. I didn't think it was scary at all.
Yeah.
This is definitely scarier than the Babadook. I agree.
Yeah.
It's scarier. It's scarier than the Exorcist and Grave Encounters.
Oh yeah.
And I gave the Grave Encounters a 4. That's the lowest I've ever rated anything, I believe. So yeah, I'm going to give Sinister a 6.
That's pretty high for you, I think.
It is pretty high. I mean, I think the highest I've rated something was, it was The Strangers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What did I rate The Strangers? Did I not write it down? That seems weird.
We have it somewhere.
I mean, I have our score here is 6.75.
I know I've rated Strangers lower than you did.
You did. Quite a bit lower.
Yeah, like a decent amount lower. So
I think I gave it an 8. I'm pretty sure I gave it an 8.
You gave Strangers an 8?
I think I did, and then you gave Oculus an 8, and I gave Oculus a little bit less.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I thought The Strangers was scarier than Oculus. But yeah, I would still say that Oculus and The Strangers are both scarier than this to me.
Yeah.
And so I think a 6 for me
that's pretty solid.
is what I'm going to go with.
That's pretty solid. A 7.5 and a 6?
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. That's a good score.
So that's the real fair score of 6.75?
Yeah.
6.75.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Seems about right.
With an asterisk because I may change my answer to higher.
Right. We'll have to revisit it in the next episode. What did we watch last? We watched The Exorcist for our Halloween episode. So did that stick with you at all? Did it go up any that we need to? No. We don't need to admit that. Well,
it's still exactly how I remembered it.
6.75. So
I just wish it wasn't so dark. Like I don't understand the need because none of the effects nothing they did needed to be as dark as it was.
No, I guess they thought it was scary.
And I guess like maybe in like a really really dark room,
they didn't know how to light.
Only focused on those things,
mm-hmm.
Right? I figure like the lighting choices were made to maintain a certain focus. So like we're only gonna light this, we're only gonna like this and that.
Especially the scenes that were lit with a flashlight.
Yeah,
there were so many.
It was like here is just what you're supposed to look at, and like in a room that's completely dark or a movie theater or something like that. Like yes, if that's all you see, then yeah.
I guess that would have been obviously all movies are better and more immersive when you're in a dark theater.
Yeah,
and it's really big.
Yeah,
and surround sound. Maybe it would have made it a more immersive, fun.
Yeah,
horrific experience.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I didn't think this.
I think that's why they did that.
I think this movie's pretty scary.
Yeah, I think it's pretty scary. But like then again, like it's just I guess the stylistic choices are something that we bring up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so when and that's something we think about as we're watching. So if we I get why they did that, I suppose. I don't know if it was necessary. Like, you could have fully lit those scenes and been just as scary, but I would have seen what's going on.
Right, and I think it could have been more scary seeing like deep focus things down hallways.
Yeah,
things like around corners, like things that we might think something's going to be over there. We can't think that in the dark because we can't see anything.
Right.
So we can't be like, oh, there might be something over there.
The same, like, the outside shots were fine. Like, whereas, like, the distance and, like, the outside shots were fully lit. Like, you could see everything you needed to see outside. The interior didn't make a lot of sense to me. Because, like
that family just didn't turn on their lights.
Like, yeah, like, why are no lights on in the house? Like, none. Really?
That's my biggest, and one of my only complaints, I guess, about this movie. But definitely my biggest one was that it wasn't lit.
Yeah.
This movie was not lit.
I just don't get why. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I just think that it would have been just as fine if you had fully lit everything. Mm-hmm. Like, and I get why.
Just as scary. I don't think it would have taken away anything.
It wouldn't have. It really wouldn't have taken away. Like, and I understand the want to hyper focus. Like, this is all that's lit, so this is what you should be looking at. But at the same time, like, framing can do that same thing. Like, you can use framing to get that same effect of, like, just look here. Because they did it in the beginning with, like, those slight Dutch angle things were sort of, like, out of place. And it's like, oh, all right, I feel the confusion here.
Yeah.
Like, I see that you're in a new place and it's disorienting. Like I got all that from the framing. And I don't know, maybe I'm looking too hard into it. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I was just like, you could have lit it fully. Because what was the other movie? Hereditary was fully lit and was still super creepy.
Yeah.
Like, it still accomplished everything with a fully lit screen.
You could definitely, like, they used darkness, but you could see everything.
Yeah, and, like, the darkness was...
There was no complete blackness.
Yeah, like, but there were bits and pieces where it was completely black, and I don't, like... Again, like, I see what they were going for. I just don't know that it was necessary. I feel like it wasn't as... Like, it didn't help it necessarily. Mm-hmm. And I guess for me, it hurt it a little bit, but I just, like, you could have just did it all and been fine, too. It was just a stylistic thing, I guess. Which is fine. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a scary movie. I think that it did what it tried to do well. I wish it was lit a little bit better, but besides that, I mean, pretty solid. I don't. We were on the acting. I don't think that the wife just didn't. Why was she from New Zealand or whatever? Like, I don't know what
You had a problem with her accent?
I didn't have a problem with her accent. It's just I don't know why they picked her. Like, she didn't do anything particularly. Like, she didn't sell it that she was, like, just really unhappy or whatever. Like, their big fight scene where he was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, right after that. It just didn't... I didn't buy it for whatever reason.
Yeah. She didn't really seem to have that big an important role.
No, she didn't.
The kids didn't either, even though one of them was the murderer. It was all just about him. Which
was fine. Like, I feel like she was fine. I guess the boy was like a red herring or whatever. Oh. Him and his night terrors. Like, he was like, is it him? When in every one, it was almost a little girl, save for two of them, but...
2 out of 5 was the boys.
2 out of 5. Yeah, it was 2 boys and the rest of them were girls. So, but whatever. No, I mean, it was definitely scarier than fucking Babadook.
Yeah, right now it sits at it's tied for the second scariest movie we've seen so far, which is The Strangers. It's tied with The Strangers for the second scariest.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Oculus is still the first. 7.75. I rated Oculus just too high. An 8. So nothing will ever beat it. Of course. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you rated it an 8. So it's your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Which is not a bad thing. I think Oculus is very scary. But
it was just so tricky. It just messed with your head so much. Mm-hmm. And it was just... Maybe I rated it that high because it was good.
Because it was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
I feel like a movie has to also be good to be scary because you're not going to be scared of something that you're just bored during.
Yeah. And, like, this one wasn't boring or anything by any means. I think it was better than Babadook. And, like...
No, I like this movie. I think I feel like I'm mostly saying bad things about it just because I'm criticizing it or like critiquing it.
Yeah.
But like, it was a pretty good movie. It was a little slow, is what I was gonna say before.
Yeah.
Is that it was a little slow and that it was too dark, and those are my two complaints.
It was a tad slow. I don't know. I thought the pacing was okay. It was like decent pacing. It sped up really fast there at the end. They were like, and we're moving in another house now. Like, and here we are already good to go. Like, I don't know if it was like the old house or the new house or what was going on, but the every other house pattern was kind of interesting. Like the little twists and turns were kind of cool. I did like that part. Mm-hmm. It wasn't always what you thought it was,
right?
Except for the jump.
The ending was kind of fun. How they moved out of that, like you said, how they moved out of the house.
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, I mean, we obviously know that that's not the ending, but it's fun because most horror movie families don't get out of the house,
right? And
they just left.
And you thought it was. I thought he was good. I was like, okay, he got out. And then like I knew the phone call had to do something. Then Officer So-and-so was like, yo,
you shouldn't have done that.
Hey man, so here's a pattern. It's every other house. And he's just like, oh my gosh. And then I feel like they could have played that moment out a little bit more. Like, I feel like the ending may have been slightly rushed. Mm-hmm. Just because it's like now he's realizing I've fallen into the trap. I did the thing.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, my cup. Oh, he's out. Oh, I'm dead. Cup. And that was all.
Well,
like,
I guess once you've seen,
boom.
Once you've seen, after he realized, oh, we shouldn't have moved, he saw the extended videos of the kids doing all the killings. Yeah. And then after that point, you have to die really quickly or else he would have caught on and not let his daughter kill him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. But, like, I guess they could have done any more when it comes to, like, how he got that coffee. Like, because that wasn't shown from what I remember.
Yeah, her bringing him the coffee the second time or for when he was actually poisoned, it wasn't shown.
Yeah, which I feel like
say
should have
"Good night, Daddy" on it. I guess they're trying to do that.
Yeah, which that was like, oh.
But I didn't know if that meant that she brought him the coffee until later he looked at it and died.
Yeah.
I thought that just meant he had a cup holder.
Where did she get the poison?
Or he was putting his coffee on something that said "Good night, Daddy." I don't know. Maybe
yeah,
it's just rat poison.
I just feel like they could have played that out just a little bit more, and that would have been cooler. But I mean, it was fine. It was good.
Maybe if we'd had her bring him coffee like a couple more times in the movie, then we wouldn't have thought it was weird if she did it again to poison him. Right. So we wouldn't have suspected. Right. And they could have done it, and that would have been cool.
Why her? Why not the little boy though? I guess they just
because the little boy was a red herring, like you said.
Yeah, but I don't know. The point in picking a different child, it seems like, he would have been a lot stronger to swing that axe, because I guarantee she didn't have the strength to pull that axe all the way through someone's body.
Yeah, and she cut off their heads and apparently their waists.
Yeah.
Because she cut them into three.
Bullshit. I don't think that she did that.
She's supposed to cut them into three pieces.
Apparently Mr. Boogie or Ooga Booga, whatever.
Ooga Booga. Mr. Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie over there he had enough just juice to like give her super strength, I guess. Each of these kids super strength because whatever. I mean, and like they tried to play it where it was like, they poisoned so and so now it was easy killing. They just tied them up, slit their throats, whatever. But to move people around like that, to like, because you gotta duct tape them, right? You gotta wrap it around, lift them under, pull them around again. Even if they're just dead weight, yeah, I guarantee you the kids were not strong enough to do that. Mm-hmm. But Unga Bunga just let it happen,
Yeah,
Oogie Boogie, just So I mean, suspension of belief a little bit, but that's fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was scary. It was good.
Music was pretty weird throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
In a good way.
I think that was good weird music. It was unsettling music. And not obnoxiously unsettling either, but it was good. They played with sound really well.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of thumps, sounded like someone like just going.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. I don't know, it was cool.
And the cuts are pretty good. Like, I had no complaints about the actual editing of this. Like,
no, me neither.
I see why.
Yeah, we had lots of complaints about the editing in Babadook, but this one seemed to be pretty normal cuts, except for when they're doing the found footage stuff, which were jump cuts, which made sense because it's 88mm film.
Right. I just don't know who went to the effort of
cutting it up,
cutting up the 88mm film.
Yeah, Yeah.
Like the stop and start. I mean, maybe.
I guess it would have had to be. They're going for stop and start. I just don't see them going like. Of course, I guess they're kids who are doing the filmings and.
Yeah, so if
really
each kid did the filming of everything, did at no point the parents ask, "Hey, literally everyone else is having fun. What are you doing right now?
What are you doing?
Right,
in the
like,
bushes over there.
We're all in the pool.
Yeah, and why did you have to be way over there in the bushes
who
watching?
gave
You
you
just
that
walked over.
Camcorder. Also,
Where did you get it?
You know,
where did she get it?
Where?
It wasn't in the box with the projector. I don't think.
No, it wasn't. It was just.
She just had it.
They just.
I guess it just appeared to her.
They just spawned camcorders that only recorded 80mm.
Although, I just was thinking, when I was thinking about her and where she could have gotten the camcorder, like, it probably just appeared to her, like the box appeared to him.
Yeah.
But also, when she saw that ghost, like she was in bed doing face-to-face with that ghost girl.
Yeah.
And had drawn Oogie Boogie on the wall.
Yeah.
That probably should have been a hint that she was going to be the one to kill everybody.
Well, yeah, it definitely was.
I mean, it was, but I didn't think about it at the time. Like, I missed it.
Yeah, I get.
Which I guess is good. It's good. Clever for the movie.
They spent time with her, so you know. And we spent the most time with her to begin with, so it made sense.
Yeah, the boy didn't really talk much except he had a couple night terrors.
No, he had some luscious locks though.
I thought he was a girl at first.
Was long.
Yeah, it was.
Which it doesn't really matter either way. We didn't see him die or nothing.
Nope, but we just assumed that they both did, him and the mom.
You would think that if whatever spirit Oogie Boogie is would want all the kids he could get instead of just picking one out of every family.
Yeah.
If he eats kids to like live.
Yeah. Why does he want to kill? Why not pit the kids against the parents at all times? There's more kids than parents, and if he can just trick them all, who cares? Yeah, I wonder why he does that. He can only manipulate one person at a time.
Maybe. He seems less. What was I going to say?
Lazy.
He's the evil Peter Pan.
He's the evil Peter Pan? He is. He takes kids to Neverland.
Yeah.
And murders their parents.
Because them kids are 60 was it? If this is. Yeah, it's like 40-year-old kids.
Yeah, those kids are really old, but they're ghosts.
They are.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought about that before it ended. I was like, he's basically Peter Pan.
Yep. He's like a shadow.
Yep.
Well, that's really... Maybe he's Peter Pan's shadow.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like there's something like that in the story.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, his shadow shows up first. And then Peter Pan shows up.
And shadows are scary. Therefore,
from what I remember, he was chasing his own shadow. He was
there
you are.
Yeah. Get over here, you little rascal. That's what he needs to do. His shadow's gotten loose again.
Yep.
And his name's Mr. Boogie.
Apparently. And they take the kids to Neverland, and the murdering of the parents isn't so much a thing that Peter Pan focuses on, but it makes sense. He's taking them off to Neverland or wherever his little film company's at. Yeah, it's fine.
So for the next couple episodes, or maybe not the next one, but thinking around the holidays, we should watch Child's Play.
Oh,
yeah,
that's the Chucky one.
That is the Chucky one. Yeah, it took you a second. Yeah, I was thinking maybe for our Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving, when that episode, because the Child's Play is actually set at Christmas time. He's a Christmas present for her son. Chucky is. So that'd be a good one. And then in December we can watch a couple Christmas horror movies. That'd be good.
The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Well, no. Not quite. I was thinking more like Black Christmas. And that's a slasher movie.
Okay.
It's actually the first slasher movie, one of the first ones, because it actually came out before Halloween, so it won't be scary to you probably. But it's a classic Christmas horror movie. It's a classic slasher in general. It came out in I want to say 73. I could be wrong. It's fine if I'm wrong. 1973. And 74. Shit, I hate being wrong about that. Oh well. And then Krampus. You've heard of Krampus.
Yeah.
Or Krampus, however you want to say it.
Krampus. I think it's Krampus. I'm going to say Krampus.
Okay.
Yes, I've heard of that. Like, bad Santa Claus.
Yes.
Except
evil
not.
Santa Claus who comes and takes kids.
Yes.
and he looks like a demon. And I have both those movies over there, and they're ready to go. So, so that'll be fun. Lots to look forward to on the podcast. Maybe those episodes will have no audio or video problems.
Hopefully. This is our first actual problem episode.
Yeah. So, sorry. Thanks for enduring.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Fingers crossed those don't continue.
Yeah.
And until next time, be afraid.
Be very afraid. Like me.
Real Fear is a Moonlight Media production, available on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, as well as the Moonlight Media YouTube channel.